Hey, welcome back to the table. Yes, I just can't get enough of this game. As you know, I just finished playing a solo playthrough of Revenant. My free time is either I'm playing Rogue Trader or I'm playing this. I squeezed in a game of Revenant, which I sold, by the way. I did not enjoy my playthrough of Revenant. I didn't think it was a horrible game, but it's also not a game like I think at my peak I owned over 200 games. I have been selling a bunch, trying to get my collection to a more manageable level, and Revenant just wasn't going to make the cut. It just wasn't. So, I am now playtesting a new 18xs game. Yes, I'm working with a designer, and we have some really cool ideas. He had most of them. I came up with one cool idea, and he's very strongly considering adding it to the game. And I'm taking all the credit in the world for that one idea. um, I love what he's doing. I can't talk about it yet. I can't show it to you. Nothing. I don't know how long it's going to be, but all I can tell you is that I'm very excited about his game, and it's making me excited to play this. So that's why I keep playing this. Um, anyways, I have been playing a rule wrong, and as I mentioned, a couple videos ago or playthroughs ago, that I was on a 5-year hiatus where I hadn't played this game for 5 years, and I thought all the rules were back. And then a viewer pointed out a major rule I was getting wrong regarding being able to leave your region as a major. And then there was a little bit of a merger rule issue. And then there's this one final rule issue. The final rule issue is if you fully own a company, if a company is player owned, so there's no shares in the stock market, there's no shares owned by the company, the stock bumps up. And we did that correctly. However, that occurs at the end of every single stock round where somebody fully owns the company. Not just one time, it's every time. And so that was a rule I got wrong. And now I've been telling you for a long time that starting a company low was my strategy. And I kept trying to show how starting a company low versus premium pays off. And it was never working out that way. The premium companies were the better companies. They would make the most money. And now I finally have it figured out. When you start low and you get to a shelf, right? You can only own 60% of a company. If you do a merger, you might get to 70%, right? Because you get a free share. If you can get to a shelf, the company can sell all of the shares that it has to the open market. And then once it's in the open market, you're allowed to buy those shares, but you have to pay double the share price. And I was showing you that I was paying double the share price, so now I own 100% of the company. And this was my strategy. And yet I still wasn't winning the game, even after doing what I always thought was the foolproof strategy. Here's why. When you own 100% of the company, you get a stock bump at the end of every stock round. I only ever gave myself that stock bump once. And so there were at least 3-4 stock rounds that you can get where you're all the way up. So basically you can get your company all the way up into this range. So, and actually you don't go to the right, you go up, which means that, you're sitting here on the shelf, then all of a sudden you're just going straight up every stock round. And then you're going to the right every time you operate. So anyways, I'm just trying to explain that that's a key part of the 100% strategy. People buy, because there's cert limits, people are always going to buy the highest value stock. So the stocks that are premium will always sell out. They always will. Because everybody's going to, once you finally have room to buy more shares and you have the money to do so, you're going to buy the most premium stock because as it goes up, it's going to get you the most money for your investment, bar none. But if you own 100% of your own shares, you're not buying other people's stock, you're buying your own stock. But see, your stock is poor because it's started low. Nobody wants your stock. So if you're waiting for other people to come in and buy your stock, they never will. That's why you buy your own stock. And then you get it to 100%, and now you're bumping up along with them. And you're maybe a little behind them, but you started poor and you finish rich. Anyways, that is the trick. And I wasn't doing that correctly. So the strategy that I've always played wasn't working. And I was like, why is that not working? And it was my playtesting this other 18x game that made me realize, oh snap, because it has a similar rule where if players own all the shares, it bumps up. And it's at the end of every stock round. It's not just a one-time thing. And I was like, oh, that's right. So that's how this game works as well. Anyways, we added a 6th player, and that 6th player is Penny Pincher. So welcome her to the game. And she's all cheap all the time. So she's going to do that exact strategy. And we're going to see how it pays off compared to the rest. So we have... Sorry. I just like to fix these because the diesels are the way to go. Okay, so, and then I already divvied out the turn order, and I'm not happy. I ended up getting 5th, which is always the case for me. I'm always last. All the other players are the same. We still have Rasputin, the Russian. We have me, the Maverick. We have Lord Premium. We have Speedy Gonzalez and the Pawn Star. Cash is King, and now we have the Penny Pincher. Okay, so the one thing I also did is we're going to stick strictly to the tile limits, which means we aren't going to have enough tiles to upgrade everything, and because that's how the game was designed. And we're going to do proper bidding. So we're going to do this the proper way. I just want to show you the game the way it would be played more naturally. I've been steering the AI strategies, or the different strategies to favor things. What do I mean by that? Well, the Russian guy always gets all 4 Russian companies. I'm not going to necessarily allow that this time, if one of the Russian companies is a better company to have. You know, Speedy always got Plum. That'll probably still happen, because he's going to be willing to pay for the go first token. But that's the thing, is you got to go first if you want to get Plum, otherwise you're screwed. Now, how does this change my strategy? If I'm playing with real players where it's not guaranteed that, I mean, I do know, there is a physical person in my life who does all Russia all the time. There is a physical person in my life who does the Cash is King strategy. These other ones, Lord Premium, Speedy Gonzalez, and Penny Pincher, those are just melds of my own strategies that I do. I do a blend of those 3. The Cash is King guy, he'll do the Speedy Gonzalez strategy as well. But getting back to the focus, how does this change the strategy? Well, first of all, I'm going to show you that the bidding wars will lose the game for you. Do not get in a bidding war. If somebody tries to outbid you, let them have it. And I've explained this many times before, but the issue is it's a 6-player game, and when 2 of you are blowing all your money on auctions because you're outbidding each other, the other 4 players win. That's the problem. It's not that you're bidding for something good. It's not, because like I told you, this K company is S tier. So is the L company. Getting those companies is awesome. I can't tell you how awesome it is to have those 2 companies. But when you start outbidding somebody for it, and you're spending a lot more money than necessary, what you're doing is you're you're causing yourself to lose the game. Now, you might be saying, well, how am I losing if I'm getting the best stuff in the game? Well, you're causing yourself to lose because the other 4 players who didn't spend any money, they win. Now, the problem for the person who loses the auction, they don't actually lose any money, so you could say, well, they win too. But the problem is they bid on something that they aren't going to get. Like the way I've been playing it, we've been playing friendly bidding, where somebody bids on something, like if they want this, they get it immediately. They just snatch it. These are all equal priority. So whoever drew the first player card, they grab the K Company, because that was the luck of the draw. And then they're going to start the game with K Company, straight off the board. That's how I play it. But the real rules is all he can do is bid on the K Company. That's it. He's just bidding on it. And then somebody else can outbid him. And there could be, all 6 players could have bid on K Company by the time it's all said and done. And then eventually, K Company is going to have an auction where you're bidding even more. So it's not necessarily the way I play it. The way I play it is not the real rules. So let's play it the real rules. You got the strategies in mind. I'm going to tell you right now, Cash is King does not want to get into auctions with people. He wants his cash. I can tell you that Lord Premium will get into bid wars for certain things. Speedy Gonzalez will only get into bid war for Plum. Penny Pincher is not getting into any bidding wars. Me, you know my strategy. And then Rasputin might get into some bidding wars. So we drew our stuff, and now because we have the bidding thing, we got to do the extra annoying part, which is I got to grab some tokens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's got these yellow tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have the green tokens. He has the brown. The gray. The double whistle stop. And the Y tiles. Okay, so when they do a bid, they're going to put those on. And then, of course, sometimes they have to outbid somebody. That is an increment of $5. I don't know how to represent that, except for maybe I'll just put one token on top of another. This is a little annoying to do as a schizophrenic solo player. It's a lot easier when in real life, because I can't control the other people I play with. Some people completely overvalue the K Company, and they're willing to bid extremely high and blow their whole game. And for me, I'm already coming into this thinking it's a bad idea, so it's really hard for me to force myself to outbid somebody on something. That's sort of why I play the friendly rules, because it's too hard to do this. But anyways, the Russian company is going to go for K. So there it is. So we go to player 2. This is Speedy Gonzalez. He is going for first priority. Player 3, Lord Premium. He is going for L. Player 4, all cheap all the time. That doesn't mean it doesn't want anything. It just means that they're cheap. So if we look into here, what do they want to do with their cheapness? That's a great question. What do they want to do? If they're coming in low, they want a free token. That's a nice cheap thing for them. Then player 5 is me. And actually, I'm looking at it, and I wouldn't mind a D Company. That sounds great. Player 6, all cash. Cash is king. So what are they going to do? They're going for this, which actually they can take right away. So these two at the top are available immediately. So they're going to spend 20 bucks and take this private. All right, player one. Okay, so they already bid on the cake company. So now they're bidding on what do they want next. This is how it would play out in real life. So they're looking at it and they're saying, hey, I would like the G company. That's actually a very typical thing that they would want. And I don't know why I picked up 2 tokens, but there it is. So now it's to me. I'm looking at the situation. I would like Star Harbor. I use Star Harbor a lot. I'm sorry, it's not my turn. It's not my turn. Take that back. Although that's probably where I'm going to end up. Player 2, Mr. Speedy. He would like the White Cliff Ferry. Player 3. Or would he like the White Cliff Ferry? Let me think about this. Yeah, he would. Player 3, Mr. Premium. Mr. Premium we got ourselves a good set of companies here. Mr. Premium would like the 2+2 train. We know that. Player 4, Penny Pincher, has already bid on the tile token. Penny Pincher would like a discount on locomotives. Now it's to us, and yeah, it's still waiting for us. We want Star Harbor. And then player 6 wants this. So immediately, spend 20 bucks. He got both of the cash revenue people. So now we're to player 1. And I did it a little bit wrong. Once both of these are gone, then it cascades. Player 1, this is Mr. Russia. Looking at the situation here, he would like the E company. Now, a German company might like E as well. But here's where the strategies change. I told you, like, when you play this for real, against real people, the strategies are going to change a bit. The big change in strategy here, and never mind, is there's only 3 of these Y tiles that have 2 safe edges, right? You need 1 for here. See? 1, 2. This one, you need this Y tile. See, there's only 3 of those, right? So Spain has the need for 1 of each type. Okay? So this is always a problem child. The second problem child is Marseille. See? 2 edges. So that's 2 of the 3. The third one is Lily. Look at this. 2 of the edges. I'm sorry, these 2 edges. This is a track. These 2 edges, Lily is the third one. So 3 of 3 have already been consumed. And guess what? Amsterdam is the 4th one. So they give you 3 tiles, and there's 4 cities in the game that are Y cities that need those tiles. And the problem is that if you're the German player, a German national, you want that Amsterdam. Or if you're a French national, you want Lille and Marseille. And if you're a Spanish national, you want Cartagena. And it just turns into whoever goes first. So you need the C company for that. Now, what people tend to do is they tend to avoid Amsterdam as a serious city for connecting to Britain, because Amsterdam can screw you. Now, somebody like me, Amsterdam's fine because I have Star Harbor. This is a place you would put Star Harbor, so now it doesn't matter what Y city you have here, whether it's gray or brown or whatever. You're going to be able to connect to London to Amsterdam, and I'm just going to skip it anyway. So, if Amsterdam is the one that gets screwed, everybody else will be gray, and in Amsterdam, the brown is the highest it could go. And that's the thing with the game. It actually annoys us. We don't really, our group does not like that. I think some people sort of like how, I was the first one to get there, so screw you. But there's not much strategy to it, except for one thing, and I am going to show you that one thing in a second. And well, actually, I'll tell you now. It's the C company. You use the C company whenever the trains go to the next phase. You use your C company to grab those Y tiles first. So wherever you are, if you're a French company, if you have French companies in your arsenal, if you have the German, you use the C company to get it. And you go grab those Y tiles first. And then somebody else is going to have to deal with the fact that they will never be able to upgrade it. That's the problem. And then here, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so there's one side. So remember we said that there was 3 that have the only one side? Well, here's one of them. Here's 2 of them. Here's 3. Because this is a Y tile that cannot go this way. So there's your 3. And then there's a 4th one. And once again, it's Germany. So you have a situation where there's 4 cities that need the middle one, and there's only 3 tiles. And again, it's a German one that could get screwed. So in a regular game, people don't like Germany for this reason. They get rid of the German companies, they remove them from the game. And also Germany is just such a premium place in the first place. It's really hard to make good profit. Now it's funny though, because Germany has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Y cities and a capital. That's fantastic. But they're constantly, you're fighting against everybody else. Britain now has 1, and Spain has 1. So, and then now Scandinavia has 1. Guess what country or region is not impacted by this? There's 2 of them, in fact. Austria-Hungary and Russia. So when you're playing this game for real and there are a shortage of tiles, I did not realize there was a shortage of double whistle stop tiles. And we ran into that since we've been playing this game. And that part I don't remember. I don't remember that at all being an issue. But it is apparently an issue in this particular game. But anyways, the shortage of Y tiles was in the game. And Russia and, well, technically Italy and Hungary, those regions don't suffer from this problem. So so people tend to favor those companies. And so anyways, I'm trying to make sure. Okay, the Russian company went. Sorry for the yawn. Now we're to player 2, which is Mr. Speedy. And he took something up here. He took this. And he wants the C company for exactly the Y tile reason, right? So then we go to player 3, which is Mr. Premium. And he so far has L. Now this is where it's funny. He could say, hey, I want to bid on K. I haven't done that yet, right? But this is where he could say, hey, I'm not letting you get K for cheap like that. Um, is that what he wants to do? No, he actually wants this one. So then, Mr. Cheapo, Penny Pincher, has private, took the J Company. Honestly, don't know what Penny Pincher would do, but I think Penny Pincher would go the first for free. That's what they would do. So then we get to us. We grabbed, currently we have D Company. I'm happy with D Company. I would also maybe like H Company. But money is at a premium here. I'm seeing that we have some really nice of these that are available. This one here is really good if you take Spain and you go right across this mountain. Because you sort of have to do that to get to Madrid. And then you put that there, and then everybody who does an OE run from Madrid, you know, they go through here and you get your extra whistle stop. Also, it's an extra whistle stop, and companies like Chin only has one whistle stop, and then you can make that a second whistle stop. So you're adding an extra whistle stop for all these companies that don't have the extra whistle stops. It's a really good spot. Another great spot for it is along this route, which we've done several times. Somebody plows through, and then they just put it along the way. And then every time they do an OE run, they get the extra whistle stop. If you make sure you put it up in here, you can maybe do a national in Austria-Hungary, and then you get to count that as an extra whistle stop. That's a really good one. Russia's sort of okay. Norway works really well. Germany, you'd have to force it. In France, you'd have to force it. In England, you'd have to force it as well. So the best spots are Spain and Hungary. Those are the best two. So, with all that said, I think I was trying to decide what am I going to do. Here's the other challenge. We're playing a 6-player game, so I have less money. And a 5-player game, we were always able to float 2 miners, and some people were even floating 3 miners. I mean, we have 12 miners, 6 players. Technically, we all get to float 2. So I could try to pick a second one here. Sure, I really like the H Company, so I'll do that. I'll pick the H Company. Then we go to 6, who hasn't floated any miner yet. And they're looking at A is good cash for cash is king. So I'll go ahead and do A. So then we go back to player 1. He's already taken 2 miners. It's Russia. He wants to be able to pick his company, so he'll go second. Player 2. Mr. Speedy, he already grabbed his first, so he's okay there. He has 1 miner. He would like the D Company or the L Company. Now this is where it can get interesting. Why does he want DRL? Speedy Gonzalez has a French strategy where he takes all 4 countries in France. I mean, you can even call him, a French name, I guess, instead of Gonzalez, right, which is Spain. He could do the same strategy in Spain, by the way. But we're playing the extended game, so all 4 companies in France were going to float. Now, why does he like having... So the D Company is perfect for here. It's a London, and then you get a really nice, boost in Lily. The L Company is great, though, because you could do a 1, 2, 3 here just as easily as you could do a 1, 2, 3 up here. So it's just a great overall French company. But does he want to get into a bidding war for the L Company? I don't know. I mean, that's the problem with this game. Um, and it's funny because I keep telling you, hey, I'm going to go in a bidding war and show you how that players will lose. And how am I playing this so far? Well, it's working out that everybody's just getting whatever they bid for. Um, but technically, if I was playing with my friends and we were being friendly, it still would work this way. We leave it open for somebody to get into a bidding war if they really wanted to. So if he takes the Lily France one, he does want this or this. Those are the perfect miners for it. But he could do M Company. I mean, that doesn't stop him from, doing anything crazy. He could do the F Company. He'll take M. M's fine. It looks like it's a French company anyways. The Compagnie Internationale des Wagonnets. Okay, so then we get to Penny Pincher. All right, so Penny Pincher already grabbed a miner. I don't think she wants another miner, to be quite honest. I think everybody does get a chance for 2. I don't think she wants to. Oh, look, somebody grabbed 3. I totally forgot. The Russian company grabbed 3. So yeah, somebody isn't getting 2. I think Penny Pincher's okay with not getting 2. But then what does Penny Pincher want? Well, this helps them to upgrade par without having to spend money, so they're pinching pennies. And so they just successfully close these out. So we throw these back in. And I always have to remember to use these. But that's $80. So they got 2 privates. Now it's to me. Well, we look at the next row. This hasn't been taken yet. I'm gonna go in. We took 2 miners. I want to take this and call it a day. Then we have Cash is King. This is interesting. He's got a miner. These save a lot of cash. It sort of fits his strategy. Yeah, he'll do this one. All right, so then we get to player 1. Mr. Russia will go, and player 2. He's got 2 miners. This will work. So that just put an end to this. So this just finalized. So player 2 took this and this. So that's for 120. And that's me, I think. Yep. So we got our Star Harbor. I do know that like when you're playing with real people that can do stupid things and they try to outbid you and stuff like this, you do breathe a sigh of relief that you were able to get the stuff you wanted and not have somebody all of a sudden, because sometimes people get myopic and they just want to win, win, win. And yeah, it's like a battle that you don't want. Okay, so player 3 is Lord Premium. And Lord Premium needs to get his company, so he is definitely going to go fourth. And then player 4. This is working out where I could have just taken everything. No one's getting into a bid war. Penny Pincher, we'll go ahead and take that. And then we get to go. I'm very tempted to take this. I really am. I was sort of relegating myself to be satisfied with a Spain strategy. I don't have to do Spain. I do like being able to go at least semi and grab a company semi up here. You know, do I need the tokens to go through the mountains free? They're very helpful. And you do pay a pretty penny to get it. It's $100, but it gives you, I mean, it just takes 4 operating rounds to get your money back. $100, though, when you're looking at, I mean, it's 10% of your money to have the ability to go through mountains. I think at this point, I'm okay with just making sure that we go semi-early. So we can grab something. Or sometimes it's not grabbing something, it's getting your miner out there before anybody else gets their miners out. That's the problem. It's a yeah. All right, then we get to player 6. Mr. Cassius King. Yeah, he'll do this. So he just ended the privates. And what ends up happening is we just drop all these. And you know what? I'm not going to call him Pawn Star. Although that was the initial name. I think this is more clever. Cassius King. That's his name. His name's Cassius. All right, so he gets this, and he has to spend $100. And then who's got the brown tile? That would be Lord Premium. Of course, Lord Premium gets this guy. That costs 120. That's a big spend for him. All right, and then the last one is me. So we get this. I do like having the private income, because if we do have to do a forced operating round because all the companies can't float, and we are playing the extended game, and so there's all the companies are in this game, I don't think they're all going to float, and it's nice to get this revenue because we'll get $35 revenue into our private funds. I mean, that's almost as good as just running a train. And so, anyways, so we get that done, and then if we go back up here, it's cascading. So here you could see all of these are, I mean, everything, all the miners are locked in. So there was no bidding war. Everything locked in until 5 and 6. So who started all this nonsense? It was player 6. So if it gets back to player 1, I'm just going to finish this out because I don't want to, and then player 2, player 2 would take the last one, then Lord Premium would take this one, and then boom. Now, everything's taken, the whole thing would end, and there was not a single auction triggered. Now, somebody could say, hey, I wanted that K company, and then they could have triggered an auction. It just so happens I cannot in good conscience do that. All right, so let's resolve all this. This goes to him. And I'm just going to leave the tokens on to show that I still have to resolve paying for things. And everybody did pay for their privates. I'm pretty sure they did. One thing I find interesting is that the Russian strategy is they don't buy any privates, but they go for all the miners, which makes sense for Russia. So they ended up buying 3 miners. Very interesting. Let me grab this. I used to always say that if I could play a game with K or L, I would automatically win. I never get to. So I'm going to do it. Spend once, spend twice. Man, that's just so much of my money. And then let's get all these back in the bag. And then spend 1, 2, 3. Get these back in the bag. And before I screw up too much, yeah, I need to grab these too. That's his. Those are his. So is that. We ended up getting one of these. And of course, Cheapskate got 2 of them. And he got the last one. So yeah, next time I'm just going to go back to claim it instantly. It ended up working out to be no different. All right, so it's a spend, and then 30 more. Take 120, take 120, and then done. Okay, so here should be spend nothing, nothing. Spend 120, get 120. Done. Spend. Done. That's $10. That's $10. Spend. 20 more. Spend. Take. That's a freebie. Just need to make sure it went to the right player. And he's done. Oh, nope. He's got to spend a little bit more. 20, 40, 50 more dollars. Oof. Okay. So we have very low money. 700, 700. 700 seems to be around the average. Cheapskate was able to get a bit extra. Now let's see what we can do here. So, who's going first? Should be this guy. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and just line them up here instead of tossing them so violently like I used to. As always, Plum is coming out first. And Plum is coming out premium. So for 180, and that means Plum's coming down. Track rates are 20, so Plum gets 160. To start, President's share is in. Okay, next is 2, which should be over here. It is 2 and 3. So he's going to do MSP. And you know what? This player never does MSP first. He always takes MKV first. And why do I know this? Because I always get to take MSP whenever I want to dabble in Russia alongside him. He always takes MKV first. That's his favorite. So we'll go ahead and do that one first. It's going to float it for 120. Oh. He gets 110. MKV gets on the board. And then, and this is true to form, he then takes his E company, and he starts it here because he doesn't want anybody else to take Sevastopol from him. And then he tries to get the Russian track rights out. So that's another $10. So yeah, he's trying to prevent people from getting into Russia through their miners. And this is like a big popular thing to do for OE runs. So you just come straight across. You don't have to pay to go through any of this, and then use that token to get into Constantinople. So then he puts his E company on the board like so. So you would think, hey, he did all those go first so he could start his Russian companies. That's not true. Sorry, I was thirsty. Okay, so then that was 2 and 3. Then we get 4. That's Mr. Premium. And Mr. Premium always takes GWR. Always. Now, here's what's interesting. The person who inspired me for Mr. Premium is this guy. This guy doesn't just do Russia. He does Russia and he does premium. um, British premium. There's another guy I know that he's all about the German companies, and whenever he comes to play, he loses every time because he goes for the German companies. And but anyways, I just don't think the German companies are a good play. If you do start a British company, you must go premium. That's part of the reason why we call it the premium. It is just it's brutal because, see, you lose $40 just in track rides. And so you're starting $40 down already. And then GWR in particular has to pay $30 more to get this upgraded and starts in a crappy spot. So there's some things where you just got to go pure premium, or otherwise GWR is not going to work. But it is a nice premium company, and you will always do well with GWR once you get going. All right, so then we got number 5, which I think takes us back to here. It does. So this is where the G company is going to come. And so, like I said, he's not going to let the miners invade Russia. So he's going to get his G company in. This is a place he likes to start it. This is also a place he likes to start it. Both of them work. I find this one to be more constrictive, personally, because this $30 spot right here. And you got to get this to green before you can even get into here. So what do you do with your track laying in the meantime? People do like this spot because your 2 train has the easiest job in the world. You got a nice metropolis and a wide town, and then as long as you got somebody connecting these two here, you got your 2 whistle stops. It's a nice spot. People do take it, but I tend to favor this one more. Even though you're a little bit more isolated, it allows you to help these companies to get connected to St. Petersburg. And since this one has 2 extra tile laying points, it makes total sense to be here. So this particular spot takes the other track right, and so now he kicked everybody out of Russia. He doesn't have all the Russian companies, but he's at least done what he needs to do. So then we get to Mr. Speedy here. No. We're going to 6th player, which is here. So Mr. Premium, there's a couple options here. He has the L Company. It would be nice to get the L Company out there before somebody else takes a spot from him. Or he takes the other British company to prevent people from getting into Britain. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to use that to take the other British company. Well, there's 2 others, but the other premium British company. So he'll take Lawnmower. And we get out here. G company is in there at 5. And then Lawnmower is coming in at 6. Also a premium. Spend another 180. Whoops. Take 140. So we should be on 7 now. Oh, we got 7 and 8. Mr. Cheapskate. Now, this is interesting. What is Cheapskate going to do strategy-wise? I have a good idea of what Cheapskate likes to do. I'm going to confirm it. He's going to start SB and Mav. both for 120. And there's a $20 track right. Done and done. So SB on the cheap, and then Mav on the cheap. Which is interesting, because he has the tokens. But that's still what the play would be with the cheap. Bell is promising, but Bell has this $30 charge that's not fun to deal with. Okay, so that was 7 and 8. Then 9 will be me. I get to go in at 9. And I'm telling you, I would take MSP from my Russian person. Because that is something I would do. But I'm looking at the situation. In my friend group, Chin is a very popular next item to take. So I think that's the one I should take. That's locking me in on the Spanish side. I really like playing the Scandinavian game. BJV and DSJ both are great companies. And then even getting the national up here is not bad. So if I could get, for example, DSJ and MSP, those two companies, I do that a lot. And then I do what's called the umbrella, where I go from London all the way around and then down. The umbrella strategy works really well for me. It's one I do a lot because my friends don't. I mean, I think some of it is they tend to stay away from it, so I do well with it. The trick is infiltrating Russia when my friend over here is constantly blocking everybody out. That's the trick. And MSP is the one he always takes last. He likes WW a ton. I don't like WW. I think it's a horrible start. But that's the trick. If you have WW, you need to have something in Germany to help you, and that's hard because there may not be. Or you take WW and you take a German company, and then you can link the two. Then you're fine. But if you're playing all Russia all the time, it is funny because he's okay with connecting WW with this crappy Brest-Litovsk, and then just running crappy runs for little income between these two, and that's why he loses. But anyways, I don't mean to pick on him. He's a great guy. I love playing 18xx with him. But that's what he does with WW. So MSP is a good play here because I know he's gonna swoop in and take these companies. DSJ is a great play right now. BHB is a good company. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. Even though it's in Germany, out of all the German companies, BHB is the best one. Bell is a great company. The Italian companies are fine. They tend to be picked later. SB is the best of these, although I've seen people do MAV just as well. But yes, Chin is the top of the list. I will take Chin. And why is Chin the top of the list, you might ask? The same reason Plum is. You could do a quick OE run with Chin. It's been proven, and you can definitely do it. So have him take 110. I'll spend 120. Am I starting it? No. Hold on. I'm doing Chin better than that. If I'm going to do a quick OE run with Chin, I need to go full premium. So this needs to be 60 more. Yeah. All right, and then 10 is this guy, and for the reasons I just explained earlier, he'll take Bell, this is a very good time to take Bell. People usually don't let Bell last very long, even with its issue. And he's going to premium this one as well. And that means Bell's going to start with 160. And Bell takes the 10th spot. For a top 10, this is pretty typical. Mav and SP usually aren't in the top 10. These two are not typical. It's typical to see minors get in because they're going for specific locations, but these two are usually not up there. It's usually more minors. But now that we're done with that, we go to this, and we do this order, and then the priority deal will kick in after this stock round. So we start with, and technically this order is supposed to be, you're supposed to, like, the players are supposed to rearrange themselves around the table to be in that exact order. We never play that way because nobody wants to move from their spots. So what we do is we play it the way I'm showing you, is we just stick with this turn order for this opening stock round. And then from here on out, we use the priority deal and we just go in clockwise order from there because it doesn't matter. So we get to Mr. Russia, and he knew he was going to get to go first. And I'm playing it the way he would play it. He would take Lizard next. MSP intimidates him. It really does. I show you how to play a good MSP game because I play MSP for you, but this guy does not like MSP. So we spend the 120. Takes 110, and now he's got Lizard on the board. All right, then we get to here. The other two French companies are definitely there for the taking, but nobody likes them. He knows that he can grab those later, so he wants to get his companies on, and he's going to do C company first, or M company first, and he's going to take Lily. Well, no. He wants to get both of them out there, but actually the C company on Marseille is the more desirable. That's a very desirable spot. So he's going to get his miner out. 20 bucks. And I forgot to put Lizard on. Okay, player 3. Lord Premium. And he absolutely needs to get his L company going. This is the spot. I know it sounds like he's just focusing so myopically on Britain, but this really is the spot for the L company. He could put it on Lily, and yes, that would be good for him, but that is a great spot for the L company, and he has both the +1 and the +2, and guess which companies are going to get those? He's setting himself up for some very premium runs. He does have to spend $40 though, and that does put him in the hole in case you haven't noticed, and he's going to be even further in the hole when he develops this, and so he does have to have money held over in his funds. Okay, player 4, which is Mr. Cheapskate. So he started off with SB and Mav. He does not have the ability to plow through the mountains. So that means that he's going to have to probably work on cooperating with getting up in Germany and then around and down. Normally, he would like to start in Russia. He can't. he could start here and try to connect to Russia, but just remember he can never lay tracks until he merges up here. So that's not a good idea. What would he do? This is not a bad start. I'm not screwing this player over. I'm trying to show how to be a cheapskate in the game by taking the cheap stuff. Starting in Italy is never a hard thing. It's cheap. It's $10. Then he can do some kind of weird connect through, and then, he'd have to plow through here, and then he can do a Paris OE run instead of Berlin. Usually Berlin's good enough. The Praha thing is cheap. It's a little weird because as much as it seems cool to put your minors in the same place as your majors, that's really not the way to go most of the time. You want to put like your minor somewhere on the other end of the thing, so that way you merge it with your major, and now your major has tokens over there, like in London, right? If you had a minor here, which actually you could do, you could put a minor in Lily, and then token London, which you can't do with his minor, so that may not work. But that would allow him to get his company into London. Because right now his company has no shot at getting into London. He could put a minor here as well. I actually think the J Company and Lily actually will work. And yes, that screws up this guy's French plans, but that's how it works. It's not... People don't always get perfect. So Lily is a hot item. Somebody really would take this. It's a $20 tack rate, and yeah, it would go early. Done. And now it gets to us, and our D Company would have liked to have gone there. We have the H Company, which normally I would like fire RCP, get it out of the game, and put my H Company right there. That's a perfect place for H Company, right there. We're playing the extended game, so there's nobody that gets fired. Last time we put H Company here, and they got a huge amount of money because there was one of these tiles. That's not the case. Where can H Company go? H Company would actually work in Amsterdam. I'm going to have a big cost up front to upgrade that tile, but H Company has an extra C point. So this is 1, and then that's 2, and not enough to get to New York, I guess. But it could 1, 2. He could actually run from here to Amsterdam. I mean, it would work. Is it perfect? No. H Company, of course, would still work in Porto. And within a few turns, I can get my H Company to token here. And then I'm still right where I want to be. And actually, that's what I am thinking, is H Company going to there would be perfect. So maybe I can hold off on H Company. The D Company is a little different. That turns a Y tile into magic money. I don't have a Y tile in Spain, because this is where my current presence is. I could try to go up here, and I don't have to put the extra plus 20 or plus 40 token where I start. I can put it somewhere else. So like I could start near here, and then, when this upgrades to green, put a token there, and then this now becomes a very valuable stop. So I have a metropolis, the same kind of money as a metropolis, and another metropolis. So I got 3 metropolises in a row. And then if I do play my cards right and get a token over here, I can hit 1, 2, 3, 4 metropolises in a row. And if I have North Seas token, I can maybe even go from London and then skip around. It all depends. Oh, excuse me, but if that's the case, I don't need to start here now. I do know this is a hot item. And if somebody takes MSP, the right strategy with MSP is to have a miner that goes here. And then that miner is building this up. So MSP could use that. Similar thing. You can put the miner here and just come up this way and then back down. That also works. Then you don't have to pay the $30 for Stockholm. This Stockholm over here is not worth the connection. So yeah, he's set up for this with K Company. He's got a third miner. So if he grabs MSP, he can put the third miner there, which is very likely going to happen. So then, I'm looking at DSJ. I would like to grab DSJ. I'm a little leery about putting a miner up here without having DSJ first. And this is my opportunity to grab DSJ, which is what I'm contemplating. I just don't want to lose my chance to get miners, because the Spanish miners and these miners are going to go quickly when people are looking for cheap places to put their miners. And I think I forgot to... This one started. So both of these are gone, and one of these are gone. As soon as one more goes, the other two are gone. All right, I think I'm looking at my situation here. This guy doesn't go quickly. He does. He does. No. Some people like him. Some people like him. No. Yes. I mean, I could do that. That would be interesting. I keep saying that that's what I do to my buddy who does the Russian strategy. I could just take MSP from him. No. No. Sort of. Actually, this one is popular. I tend to favor this one more than other people do. And then no, no, and no. So yeah, I'm going to start DSJ. I think this is the time DSJ comes off the board. I don't think... Oh, and you know what? I said that I was going to... That's right, that one was going to be a premium. But now I'm going to do something different. Everybody's starting here. See, there's a whole slew of them. I want to start above them. So I could go to 75, which just puts me... So this means that he would start at 100, which is all the way up here. No, that's too high. I go to 65, and then he would start at 80, which is just one shelf higher. Yeah, I'm going to start one shelf higher. Maybe even two shelf higher at 90 is a good one. So that would mean you start at 70. This, I think, is going to depend on just how much money we have. I don't have a lot. So 65 would put me at, that's what, a 130 I'm spending? And then a 70 would be 140. I'm going to do 130. We'll start at 65. Grab ourselves some DSJ. So that's 130. That means he gets to keep 120. Done. All right, he's got two miners, and this is what I was telling you about. He needs to put them somewhere. He has no majors. He's been just patiently waiting, because cash is king for him. He also knows that no one's going to take the Italian companies, and that's what he will do. He can live just fine with Italian companies. But in a shocker, even though cash is king, he still always takes at least one premium company, or he'll start his miner somewhere premium, because then he could merge them with an Italian company. So he's going to do the A company, and I think he wants to start it in Germany somewhere. This one costs 30. This one is free, but it's not that good. That's too far away. The problem with starting in Germany is in the extended game, all 4 German companies are here, and Berlin's going to get filled up quick. If he started, let's say, in a regular game, he could be eliminating German companies from the game. In fact, sometimes all 4 German companies get eliminated from the game. And then, you can actually start on these Y tiles, like Hamburg. You get rid of BHB, you can put a miner right there on BHB. And ideally, this is where he would like to go. Because if he's going to be Italian companies, he wants to have presence up here. This is the perfect spot for him. But man, it's such a pricey spot. Costs you 30 to get out. For Cash is King, that's not a great cash spot, even though this is also a horrible cash spot, right? If he started over here with us, it's a little, just out of the way. He could do a Madrid run that goes into Italy and then squeaks its way there, but it's a little weird because usually the Italian routes don't go through Italy to do an OE run. They just find a way to put a token up here, and then they just do a token, or they just do a run that's through the token and they ignore Italy altogether. Which is why putting this up here in the Germany area is attractive. Now, can they accomplish the same thing if they went over here in Britain? The answer is yes, but where? Like Glasgow? No. I mean, they're going to be competing for token spots. It's just, in an extended game, it really ruins this strategy. Because you can't get rid of companies, and there's too many companies shooting for... So your next best thing is to start here, and then you're at least going to connect to the German through here. So you got yourself a connection up to Berlin, and then once they merge, they can lay track or whatever they need to do to get up there. And it's really cheap for Cash is King. That's a $20 spot. Okay, back to player 1. Yeah, he's taking MSP. Spends his 120. Starts with 110. Player 2. He didn't get his French spot in. So where does he want his other one to be? That's a great question. I don't know where these people want to put their stuff. I mean, Spain is available. But where in Spain would he like to go? There's not a good spot. I mean, so the best spots in Spain, Porto. But see, there's no token. Porto pays a massive amount of cash when it's there. This Sevilla is good because you get the 2 whistle stops, and this is a really nice paying spot. So you got the 1-2 with whistle stops. It's a really nice run, but you got to pay this. You could, with the right track lays, get up into here. Only because this is here that this is like looking attractive. But like if you look in Germany, there's a spot here. You just start with extra cash if you go there. You're really close to Berlin, but it's going to be really hard to get connected to Berlin. And who is this? This is the... that's right, this is this guy. So he's got to find a place for his miner. To be quite honest, the Italy spot, there's a $30 initial cost, but this is just a good run. He'll make good money. So right now you're just looking for a home for your miner that gets you just some good money. So done. Then we go to Mr. Premium here. He's got the same problem. He's got this B company. And yeah, he wanted to go in Germany or something, right? This is where it gets tough. This is also available. I should have thought about that. It's out of the way. Sometimes people don't want to be up here because it's out of the way. But like I said, if you're doing the umbrella strategy, it works. I actually think this might work for him. And what he's doing is he's kicking everybody out of England, and everybody gets kicked out of Germany as well, because the B company is gonna be hurting for money. But so he's got two companies he has to bail out. Got to be very mindful of that. Player 4, Mr. Cheapskate. He's got all three companies out. Oh, I gotta. So after DSJ, that was me. Then we went to him. He put out a company. My goodness, we're way behind. Then player 1 did MSP for cheap. And then player 2 put out the M company. And then player 3 just put out the B company. Now we're on player 4. What would he do next? He needs one more. He's a cheapskate. I would tell you that BHB is the best one on the board, but he wouldn't take BHB. I mean, he could take MZA, because it's a cheapskate thing to do. He could take an Italian company, also a cheapskate thing to do. He has the money. He's going to start another company. This would not be a cheapskate thing to do. I feel like if he starts an Italian company, and this guy hasn't started any companies at all, we're just screwing this guy, because his strategy, these two have similar strategies, and they might be too close to each other. The thing is he's not afraid to premium his companies. MZA might be it, but I'm telling you, MZA is a tough company to run. It's in the same level as MIDI and OU and GSWR. So it's not the best company. These are good companies. They're better than MZA. WW is still out there, and it's close, right? I mean, to be honest, BHP really is the play. But it's not the play if you're a cheapskate. So that's the trouble I'm having. BJV. BJV is a tough start, though. The reason it's tough, going on the cheap is super tough, because BJV, you want to instantly pay the $40 to put your token up here. First turn, you want to get your token up in the metropolis. You don't normally when we first started playing, this player would either lay track all the way up to here and then token up here, which is doable, right? You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. tiles, get up there, and then put the token there. That'll save you the $40, actually. Actually, that's not a bad idea. This one is a little more attractive because this is a Y city. So you can go from here to here. And that's a great run. Although you could argue that's same run. Exact same run. And then if you get this connected down to here, you're doing the same thing here as you are here. So that would work. I never thought of it that way. I always paid the $40 to go up to the Norwegian coast. But yeah, you could plow your way up to this North Sweden and get a metropolis that way. But either way, you want to get out of what is that, Göteborg? You want to get out of there. BJV's not the, but it's a good start though. People dog it, but if you can get your token on a metropolis, it's just as good as DSJ. So did it on the cheap. All right, now it's to us. We still have a miner to place, both of our miners. We took 2 majors. I do want to get my miners out there, but I'm looking at RCP and thinking I don't want anybody else taking RCP from, because RCP is turning into an attractive option. And then I am also going to start RCP. So 120 is going to come in. And we're going to spend 130 for it. And so that makes RCP get on the board for 65. All right, player 6 has not taken a major. And he's realizing that someone else is going to take his Italian, so he's going to get this one out. So he's going to go premium on this one. So they're going to take 170. And don't get confused. Cash is king, but that doesn't mean he's a cheapskate. So he's putting a lot of cash in his company because he wants it to do an OE run and he wants to own all 4 shares of it. But it's harder to own all 4 shares when they're $90 a share, isn't it? That is true. Maybe that's not a good idea. But he wants to get that 3 train right away. Can't do that if the shares are cheap. So SFAI is on the board. Player 1, you know what he's going to do. He's going to take WW because it's his way. He can't do anything else. He's going to spend 120. He is not going to do that. I apologize. Take the 120 back. He's going to get K on the board. And he's going to go right here in Norrköping. Pay $10. Yeah, he's got to. That's how you support MSP. He has to. MSP is a two round commitment. You got to spend 1 round getting your miner out in Norway and the other round getting SVP. Now, what if you don't have the miner? How do you solve the MSP problem? You got to go major right away, and then you got to do 2 tile points, right, to lay this. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get connected. So you can get connected before you do your first run. And you can run from here to here, no problem. But you got to be a major. And sometimes you like to zigzag to hit all the whistle stops. You can't dilly-dally too much. But you could do it. You could get there. You do not need this metropolis to make this work. But now he does not have to go major. As long as K delivers for MSP, then MSP will be fine. Now here's what's interesting. This is going to be 1, 2, 3 track points. This is 1, 2, 3 track points, right? K needed to go before MSP on the board. K is after MSP. So I'm going to do a little bit of a retcon here. I know it. Maybe one of these companies would have taken MSP if it was still on the board, but I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. In order to make this work more perfectly, K should go before MSP. Otherwise, if you really don't want to do that, I would have to move K to here, because then I can do 1, 2, 3 and get this connected immediately. No, because K would still has to do the same thing. You have to connect up this way and then back down in order for the port strategy to work. Nope, we're doing it that way. And yeah, so I just did it in the opposite order. He would have placed K first, and that's fine. All right, player 2. So he's got all of his miners out. He's now going to drop to 120, spend some money, and he's going to take OU. So they're going to take 100. Player 3, Mr. Premium, has everything out. He's really low on money. This is the time to take BHB. I had to have already spent his 180, so 140, take. BHB is on the board at a premium. Player 4, Mr. Cheapskate. He's got plenty of money for more shenanigans. So he's got SB, MAV, BJV. So let's look at what we got here. Decent, very good. See, these are all premium companies. All of these are premium companies. That's a cheapo, that's a cheapo, that's a cheapo. And Mr. Russia is going to lose WW. Because he's going to take WW. It happens. So get WW on the board for cheap. Okay, then it gets to us. We still have 2 miners to place. And I'm going to spend 130. And since we're on our roll, I better take MZA before somebody else does. So now we own all of Spain. So he'll start with 120. I spent 130. Look, I got 130 left. I could still start another company. And then we got this guy. He will take the Italian company, because otherwise the cheapskate will. And I forgot to put out MZA. And then SFR. It's going to be a premium. He still has a miner he needs to put out. Player 1 has money. Everything's been placed. He lost his Russian company. So he's going to take POB, which is actually exactly what this player does. But you know what? He only takes pub when he has WW. What he does is he takes pub, he takes WW, and then he links them together so they both get a big run. To be honest, the right strategy for him is to stop. Having 3 majors and 3 minors is more than enough. I have 4 majors. So maybe it's not more than enough. I think 4 majors is a bit much, to be quite honest with you. He's going to have 4. He's only got 2. This one has 4. He could definitely take another. You can see we only have 3 minors that are left. What major would he take, though? 3 of them are German, so they're very expensive. There's the French one that everybody hates, and people don't really care for the British one very much either. They're all premium. The only one that's not premium is MIDI. Oh, what would he do? He would take POB. I mean, I think he would still take POB even without WW. I mean, as much as I took WW with him, I really should swap him. Just let the Russia guy play as Russia, just for the sake of curiosity. If the strategy does well, making him go POB. What did he do with WW? He went full cheap. Yeah, that's the problem. The WW is going to have $110, whereas if he takes POB, he's going to have $80 because it's going to be a $40 track rights. And Penny Pincher, yeah, Penny Pincher's doing what Penny Pincher does, so he'll take POB. And he's going premium. He'll spend 180. So POB has 140 to start with. That's fine. That was player 1. Player 2 he is going to take MIDI because that's been his strategy here. He'll spend 120, 100. Gets MIDI on the board at company 30 on the cheap. Then we go to player 3, who's out of money. He would like to get another premium, but to be fair, it's just not going to happen. GSWR is the one he would purchase if he could. He's going to pass. And yes, could he buy another company? Of course he can. But he's Lord Premium. He's not going to, he's not going to buy a GoBot. He only wants Transformers. So then we get to player 4, who's rolling in money. So he could buy one. I can tell you GSWR is not what he wants. So he's going to buy Kibbles and Bits. And he now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 majors. And so the problem is if you buy one of these, you know what? He's a cheapskate. He's not going to buy this. I mean, he would buy it for cheap, but then he would owe money. Or she. It's a she. Her name's Penny. Penny Pincher. Penny would only pay 120, and then this thing and then you have to help them buy a train. Cheapskates don't do that. So she's gonna pass and hold on to her cash. So now it gets to us, and yes, we got to get our tokens out there. We have a problem because the D company needs to make some decent money. The second Italian is so hard to place. Like, you can do Torino. It's a hard place to spot. He has a second one, this F company, but see, he has these mountains, and he's not in here, so he could use his mountains. He's going to go on Torino, and then use the mountains to get to Paris, or even to London, and just cut through here. So he's not worried. His F company is going to be the Italian. So by virtue of all the other starts, I'm going to be able to take both of the Spanish ones if I want. And there is one more up here that might be worth grabbing, because I did take DSJ. And D might end up going up there. And I'll do something like Malmo, or I have no idea. And I can make this the boosted city. They're all bad wherever I go, but H at Porto is at least a decent start. Because H at Porto, I'll help get these connected, and I'm going to get into here, lay my token, and then H will have a New York capable run. In fact, DSJ could merge with it, and then DSJ has the bonus. Any of these companies can. So H there, we grab this. It's $10. Now, Spanish miners are not coveted. However, they can be when you have these in here. Like, if that Porto one was there, people would snatch it up. It's not. In fact, like, this one is here, and then Russia actually got one. Instead of Russia, this is the one that would have been on Porto. Because it's like you draw tokens. See, like the pink are the premium nations, and then these are the medium nations like France, Austria, Hungary. You always have whites, which are in the Bulgaria, Greece area, and then these green are shared between Russia and Spain. So they could either in Italy, right? So they could either all be in Russia, or it's possible that all of them are in Spain, but in this case, Spain did get one of them, and that's not a bad spot. I mean, it's $30. All right, that was us. Player 6 needs another company. He's got 2 premiums. He's going to go ahead and start his miner, though, right here. For $10. Not the most perfect of spots, but it'll work. Player 1 is going to pass. Player 2, passing. Player 3 passes. Player 4 passes. And before I forget, we got to get this out here. Player 5, I have to go. We can't pass when there's a miner to put out, so I do have to get the miner out, and I have to choose. I'm either going here with my miner, or I could do this and fight with this guy to get up there. The problem is he goes first, so he's going to lay 1, 2, 3, and block me. Now I can do this and go 1, 2, 3, and block the port, which prevents him from using this. So that's where it gets interesting. So I'll get in here first. Or I could just go to Malmo and do a similar thing where I just brute force a token up to here. Same as BJV would. It's going to be very expensive though. I have the money because I'm not going to start another company. Why would I do that? Well, it helps. I can get one of my Spanish companies to have presence up there if I merge it with the D company. The problem is the D company gets $20 extra revenue. I'm not allowed to put it on a metropolis. It has to be on a regular city, like a Y city. So this is the ideal spot for it. But until this goes green, I'm sitting here. It's not going to work. And if you look at the yellow, Y towns are single. A D company here in Barcelona is fantastic because making this worth something when you're doing your run is great. So part of me is like, well, I need to put the D company, maybe in Palma, right? So now I have this here, but the problem is this is on the wrong C zone. Like I could cancel this C zone, but I can't cancel that one. I can do a 1, 2 to there, but it's not helping me. I could put a D company here, which just, if I'm willing to pay the $45, I at least have a nice run to start the game. I can make this worth more money. So that extra $20 makes these little crappy towns look better. That is the thing with D company. You can make these little crappy towns at least be worth as much as a Y town. It's not as good as making a Y town worth even more. Like that's even better, but that's where so you start with $20, but then on train phase 5, it jumps up to $40. So that $40 you could place somewhere else. And so then you can put that on a Y tile, and then it pays like a metropolis. So just to put it in perspective, these pay $20 each. These pay $30. So if I put a $20 tile on one of these, it's paying better than a Y tile. It's just that you usually want to put it on one of these, so now the Y tile is paying as good as a metropolis. The problem is this late in the game, I have no Y tiles left. We got Austria-Hungary, all the Y tiles are gone, right? Italy doesn't even have a spot. Can't do France, can't do Britain, can't do Germany. The only Y tile here is a yellow token that is already placed down, and I can run to it, but not through it. So that is the thing. I could start here, put a token there, put that token here, and then my 2 train just runs to here, grabs whatever whistle stops it can, and then this just runs for a higher premium. I mean, that would work. It would get it more revenue. I have to pay a massive amount of money to get my token up there, but it would work. If I do it down here, I'm starting here. I could do the same thing, though. I could just put the token here, and if I connect up to Madrid or whatever it is I plan to do, I can run from Madrid to Cartagena and then get my bonus that way. And even if I have to run between here and Cartagena, I'm still going to get my bonus. Just, it won't be... The problem with this start is the other way. I pay a lot of money initially, but I'm running between a metropolis and a Y tile. Here, I'm paying a lot of money to run between a Y tile, which is what this is, and a crappy city. I can't place another token here because the H company is going to do it. Here, I can get 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, right? I can get into Madrid. I really can. But if I go into Madrid this way, then the other 2 spots are going to be here and here, which are horrible. So then I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, can't place. So then what do I do for my train run? I'd have to connect to here, which is going to ruin this because this needs to connect to the port and then probably go this way. So this is where it gets challenging. I would prefer that the D company be down here because this is the perfect spot for it. But you know what? I could do a merger by train phase 5, merge it with a Spanish company, and then pull the token down to here. Until then, I'm running up here just for the money. This is a good spot. It's one of the only ones available. If I started here, I get a nice boost of money. 1, 2, 3. Even if I'm trying to go as quick as I can, 1, 2. Yeah, I'm not gonna get there. The only drawback is just how much money I'm gonna have to spend to get. I'm trying to figure out, can I get this extra $30 and have it help me? And the thing is it's not going to help me. I'm not going to make my initial money, is the problem. Okay, I am... Where's my token? I'm going to start in our house. It's a very, very fine house. Malmo won't work because Malmo is in this C-zone. So I would have to pay $40, $80 to place it. Here I'm in this C-zone, so I just have to pay $40. The $10 track rate is nice and cheap. So that helps. And we'll do that. And I do have the money to help them. So I'm not too concerned. And that's what we're going to do. Now, here's the problem. We go to player 6, who has money, only has 2 companies. He's got to get another company. So he's going to get, he's going to take one. And of the 3, KSS is right next to Berlin. So he's going to take KSS. But see, the thing is that Kibbles is at a Y. I mean, you're not going to get connected to Berlin, but you got Y tiles. You can connect to this Y tile and even this one, although it's expensive. You can get some decent money, and you can even get to Vienna once the greens open up. Berlin is just a no-win scenario. There's 3 people who are going to get into Berlin, and that's 1, 2, 3 right here. Although no one's taken Kiss yet. If you take Kibbles and Bits, you're sort of accepting the fact that you're not going to Berlin. So that's why the reason why you take Kiss is because you want the Berlin. So he'll take Kiss. Also for a premium. And this is sort of hurting the Cash is King strategy because for Cash is King to work, he wants to buy all the shares of a company. Well, you need cash to do that. So he just blew through all of his cash to start everything at a premium. But he needs more companies than just two. Two companies is not going to cut it. And he needs at least a third. One of these is going to go national if his plan goes the way he wants. So he needs at least two companies to be doing runs with, and all he has left are those. Everybody took everything else on the board. So we get to player 1, pass. Player 2, pass. Player 3, pass. Player 4 has the money. Does player 4 want to go through 2 operating rounds where nobody could buy a green train? And player 4 is looking at the situation and thinking yes, because he's going to get 10, 20. Well, he's not going to get 20 in revenue. He'll do okay, though. He's got 4 companies that are going to run. 5 that are going to run. He only has 3 that are going to run. You see the difference? He'll be making money. He won't be making as much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies for him. He's going to do fine. This one, only going to run 4. I'm going to run 6 companies. He's going to run 7 companies. So some of us are going to do really well. Now, Cash is King is going to make 25, 35 in revenue from this, which will help. But here's the deal. Somebody has to buy both of these companies. The only one that can afford it is him, and he's not going to do it. So that's where we're, okay, we can afford, right, if we want to go, and he might want to, because he still only has 3 companies. He has 4. He has 4. I don't even know how we've gone this many times, and to have this guy only have so few companies. But I guess everybody else had concession, so they were able to take, like, the first 10 rounds were concessions, and he had no concessions. So can he buy another one? The answer is yes. But he also, with his strategy, is he wants to buy all 4 shares and not go major, so he can buy a green train right away. And to do that, he needs cash. And he put these at premium, so he needs $90 in cash. So he's not interested in buying another company. He can try to, but he's not going to. So we're going to go into an emergency operating round. We have to. Which is crazy. I usually avoid this at all costs. But with this guy's strategy, he's the one that's blowing us up. He didn't buy anything. He only took 1 minor. And he took 2 privates, I guess. I feel like I should have spent money on him when I didn't. In fact, let's do some quick math, because I feel like that's way too much money. So bear with me. The starting capital was 1,080. We can calculate this. So I'm going to put its calculator I have in my hand. $1,080, right? We're starting with that. The 2 privates that it purchased were worth 40 and 40. So minus 80 puts it to $1,000. I remember we paid for those. This gray locomotive was minus $120. That's $880. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 companies. So minus 4 times 120. Yeah, it's 400. The math is perfectly viable. Wow. So when you are a cheapskate, it really does pay off. So yes, could he buy these companies for cheap? He could, but he doesn't want to. All right, so we're going to force the run. So we're going to start with, well, I like to do it this way. So we're going to just come here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So everybody spent the $100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I just did, but that really upsets me. There's 4, 5. There's 6. Look at this. So here's what blows about the emergency runs. You can't go major and lay all those track that you normally get to lay. Exactly 2 left because there's exactly 2 companies left. Okay. So everybody bought their trains. Now we go through and just lay the track. So we got Plum here, who's going to do at least one of these. So 1, 2, 3, and done. And then MKV, who I would always go major with if I were them. So now they got to figure out how are they going to do revenue. They got a 1. They probably need to connect with him. So we're going to do a 2 and then a 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And if they can do a 1, 2, 3, they'll get connected. All right. So then E Company, they need to do a 1, 2, 3. So they're going to pay 24. because they get a 20% discount on 30. So E Company has to pay 24. So we'll just let the negative numbers tell us how much he owes. GWR. Well, we'll settle this now. So he owes 14 bucks. Done. GWR, similar situation. So he's going to do, oh, not that one. One, and then 2, 3. Like so. Okay. He's done. Mr. G. Now this is an interesting one. We can connect to this. One, two, three. Lawnmower. One, two, three. SB. I got to make sure I don't have any negatives. But SB. Gonna grab this one. I think we want to put it exactly like that. For 2, he'll take that spot. The A Company is not his. Or no, the A Company is not his. So he doesn't need to connect. He wants to connect to something here. He wants the whistle stops. If he can. I mean, to get the whistle stops properly, he should do this. But then this is a problem. And Mav's not going to get there before A Company. So he'll do that. Well, he could just, Mav could help connect here with him. That would work. And then Mav can just token that later. So 2 and 3. Now Mav gets to go. All the miners have been settled, so this is gone. Same with that. So he's got 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. Then we have Chin. That's us. Yay. We get to go. See, we can't do. We're required to connect. So I think I have to do this one for now. I'm not connected to that port until I go green, because I have to do this, which is fine. That's one. And then we have 2, 3. All right, that was Chin. Bell has to pay $30 for 1, 2, 3. And then I just got to check, do they get a track discount? They do not in France. So that's $30 gone. All right. Lizard is another one of those weird ones where you want to start off as a major because you've got so much track you got to lay, but you can connect to 2 crappy cities, no problem. So we'll go ahead and do this for 1, 2, and then. So what this is he's just connecting so he at least has his 2 cities. And then from here, he'll actually try to get connected to something bigger. Something bigger than himself. C Company. One, 2, and 3. L, already in the hole. Hmm. One, 2, 3. And to place that cost another 30, I believe. Yep, and there's no discount in Britain. It's interesting because I call these premium, but see how they're pink? They're high track rates and no discount. These yellow ones, because I don't think there's no discount in the yellow ones, but the track rates are cheaper. And then the green ones, they get discounts and the track rates are cheaper. Anyways, we got another $30, so it's going to be 50. I'm just going to give him the 20. We've got to spend 50. And I forgot, we got to pay our privates, which everybody has a lot more money than originally advertised because we got private money. So now we go to J Company, who also has to, nope. Where did J Company go? Oh, they're here. So we're going to do 1. And then 2. He's going to connect right in with Bell. and take all the juicy money. So next is DSJ. He really doesn't have to connect much, but we should get the whistle stops in. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. A company. I don't know where I put some of these. I'm looking. I don't remember. A company is Cheapskate took it. Oh, right here. Praha. Praha ha ha. So 1, 2, 3. K company. One, two, three. M company owes some money, but not $30 money. 20% discount, so 24. So he'll spend 10. He'll spend 14. And then we're going to put in a 1, 2, and 3. So that was J. B. B is going to spend some money. So he's going to take the 20, and then we're going to spend 30 more. So he's going to spend 50 more to lay his track. And he's got to come out of here for 30. Now, if you want, we could also do this for 30 more. He's got the money. You know what? He's going to. Because this is the one time you get to do a forced train purchase. So he's going to... Whoops. So he's going to come out and then just do an immediate about face. And then use a double whistle stop here to keep going. That's 1, 2. And you know what? Because it's harder to use these ones, he's going to use this one. Come down to that one, 3. All right, that was B. And BJV. 1, 2, 3. Now this is where it gets interesting. All three of these are owned by different players. So I could theoretically connect here and block BJV from putting a free token up here. Not free, but a cheapskate token. So if BJV wants to token somewhere, he's going to have to pay some money. So take that, Mr. Cheapskate. I also am not sure they can place tokens on these emergency OR rounds. That's an interesting thought. I don't know how much of that is possible. RCP. So we got 1, 2, 3. It would be nice to go through here, maybe pay the $45, so that way you can get all these whistle stops as you're going to Madrid. We never do that, and it sort of backfires on Spanish companies. You do have to pay some upfront money, though, to make it work. So SFAI, we have to do it this way. Otherwise, the miner won't work. Normally, I zigzag through these cities. MSP. So there you go. There's 2. And then three. OU. One, 2, and we'll connect to this one for 3. And that just got him $20. BHB. One, 2, 3. WW. 1, 2, 3. MZA. 1, 2, 3. So it was $24. So he'll spend 20. And we will spend the 4. SFR. Okay, that's $36. He has it. POB. All right, so if we're going to come in here, he's got this here. That's always the problem. So he'll connect, but then he has to bypass this. And when he tries to bypass this by putting a green here to go up in this way, then it prevents anybody who's coming through here from bypassing Berlin from the north. It blocks it all. So the proper way to do this is he would have to go down, over, and then up and down. So then if somebody puts a green tile here, they can use it to bypass this because the way in is from here. So, and Pub doesn't start on a worthwhile city at all. So we just do something like that. Oh, wrong one. Then he sharp turns in. See, he's not going to get any whistle stops, though. But it's just, if he wants to get into Berlin, though, and have the bypass, this is the way. Because with the bypass, he can get into all these whistle stops. Because we'll bypass this city as well. And he'll get all these whistle stops eventually. It's just not at the moment, though. There. So he's going in this way, and then Kiss will come in that way. So we got MIDI. One. We'll at least get a whistle stop here. H company. F company. It's going to collect $30. That's a good payment. All right, $30 for F. All right, I'm just making sure, is anybody in the negative? Because that means I needed to square them up. They are not. D company. So this is our shenanigans. So we do have to, we have to connect to the port. That's important. And we also have to connect to that track. So we got to lay it like this. And yes, this is $40. Oh, that's right. I got to look up, can we do tokens? This is going to be interesting. So concession railroad phase, I think is what this is called. 18. From 1 to 10. flow to minor, flow to regional, power regional. So now we're in the regional minor phase. It may also end flow to minor, flow to regional, purchase presidency. This we can't do because we're playing the extended game. No player may purchase the 25%. Majors may not float. Nobody can purchase the level 3 train. When all 12 minors and 18 regionals are floated, the 6 remaining unfloated are removed from play. Yes, we get that. There's some... See, the thing is it's like it's in the rules, but it's not here. Oh, you bum. It may also end while still in that stock round, or it may continue through subsequent ORs and one or more additional SR. Yeah, so we just have to do operational rounds. And that's what you have to do. You have to now jump to the operational round. I don't see any exception for being in train phase 1. So we're just in train phase 1, which means they can't buy any 3 trains. That was the thing. So yes, we can lay tokens. So that's important because D Company has to spend $60 to lay that. And then we can put the $20 token here on this city. So we'll spend 10. Then I got to spend 50. So that was a big step backwards, but I still think it was the right move compared to starting in Spain and then KISS. We can do... We'll just do this nonsense. Well, you know what? He wants to get to those whistle stops, so this is not a smart move. I was thinking more long-term, that, you know, it's a worthless city. We don't want to really do anything with it. But he wants to do 1, 2... He wants to connect in there, but he wants to get to that. So we'll go straight down for 3. And who has KSS? He does. So he doesn't necessarily want to connect to him. And Kibbles is open and available for sale, and he wants to buy it. So if he connects down to Kibbles, then that makes Kibbles attractive. Oh, by the way, who passed last? Because all of these are gone now. And then this went to whoever passed last, which was, I think, him. So it means he would get first dibs. Because he bought KISS. I did place D. Was I last? I mean, I got 1 in the top, in the concession phase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actions. Yeah, he's the one. Okay. We have executed everybody, and now we pay privates again. So this is where the money comes in for players, although this is pretty well distributed. 2 players are getting nothing. He's one of them. I mean, who's the other one that's getting nothing? Lord Premium. So now we get to operate, which this is where they finally start to prove their worth. Plum is connected, so we don't have to worry about that. we do have to get this situated. I think we're going to do this. So we're going to go connect it like this. 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 6, 7, 8. And just got to always make sure it works, and it did. So $40. I know it seems silly, because we spent money to get everything operational, but by doing these operation rounds, he's going to have more cash, maybe enough to buy another train, which I think, or another, company, which he may want to do, and or at minimum have enough money to buy his shares. He wanted to have enough because he wants to buy this one. I think he will once he operates his companies. Right now, he just can't operate the companies. And I'm realizing, okay, yep, he set himself up so he can connect to this, which is going to be important for him. All right, so MKV, we'll do the 1, 2, 3. So tokens here, so it's 3, 6, 7, 8. See, and it didn't pay properly. So he's got to put $40 back. All right, keep going. E company, same exact run. And they take another 40. So now you're going to see they're going to start rolling in the money, and they'll be able to afford a lot of stuff, and they'll be able to afford to buy shares of their company, which means that they're going to be able to do some damage, like lots of damage. So GWR still needs to lay some track, but it's going to be the London track. So he's going to get this in here. And the London one. But that's going to cost him 30. All right, he has to use his token. So he's going to run for 70. And now he's got enough money to get his other token out so he can stop running off a crappy city. All right, and then G Company should be... So he's got his run. So now he's just laying track to help out here. So we're going to go ahead and do... One, 2, 3. So it's 30, 50, 70. Oh, he's got 2 more track points, which he would have played last time too. So he technically has 4 more track points. So 1, 2, 3. We got to make a decision. Are we going up here? Or are we connecting with him? I guess we'll connect with him. But it does mean that this here is getting cut off. It is interesting because you need to get to green track before you can keep going. But it's all right. His run doesn't change though. It's still 70. Take the money. Okay, lawnmower. Easy placement. Coming in. If he can afford it, he'll put a token down. He can. All right, so unfortunately he has nowhere to run but to his crappy city, so it's for him it's a 70 run as well. He's getting up there. Not enough to buy a company. SB. One and two. So that'll be 30, 60, 80. The rich just get richer. Mav. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is extremely expensive to get through. He's a cheapskate, so cheapskates don't pay to go through that stuff. So the problem is an OE run is what they want to do. I got to think this through. I mean, you do have to win the game, even though you're a cheapskate. So has so much money, but the company does not. Sure, 1, 2, 3. And it's running for 80. Okay. And then we move on to chin. And I think we do want to cut through here if I have the money. I do. That's the whole reason for going premium. So we're going to do 1, 2, and then let's see. If we go, yeah, we're going to do 3 like this. And then we're going to use our private and put this whistle stop right there. So now I am running through this port. So it's a 3, 6, 7, 8. In the yellow phase, it's only worth $10. It's the same as any other whistle stop, but that turned a 7 into an 8. Gave us some nice money. Bell. One. So if he's coming in this way. 2. 3. 3, 6, 7, 8 for Bell. Always make sure it pays. Lizard has the weird problem here. So he's got 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this emergency round isn't the best paying for the Russian companies. C company, 3, 6, 7, 8. We could have had him go first, I guess. I totally forgot about that. And then we should put this out here just to remind everybody. All right, L company. We're going to lay some track. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't get the whistle stops in, but does get 9, which is a good run for L. Better than anybody else at this juncture. He definitely needs the 45. And then J company. He's running for a 6. DSJ. I'm going to block BJV. I'm going to make the cheapskate pay. And they should have paid for their token, because BJV is out of money. They'll still get a run. They just have to use this port as part of their run. So yeah, I block BJV. So I'm running from here to here. So I'm getting a 30, 60, 70, 80. A company. Hold on, that's the 60. Where was the J company? I ran... Oh, the J company is way better. Okay, A company is the one that's doing horrible. So this is 60. Pay half. Get 30 bucks. All right, let's fix it. The J company did not run for 60. It ran for 70. Oh no, technically 30, 60, 80. So that's an extra $20. So that means J company would have gotten another 10. And so would he, or she, sorry. K company would have gotten payment of $20 during pay private step twice now. And then K company, yeah, they would get a 1, 2, and this is where they need one of these. So this company had to use one. Where did I use the other one? Right here. So I didn't have to use it here. So what we do is we can force this and then just let them correct it because it didn't ruin their run. All right, so there we go. Oh, K still has to run, and K would pay for the tile or token. So there's 20 of those dollars, and the token, of course, goes right here. So K would run for $80. It's a great run. Okay, M Company. Three, 6, 7, 8. B Company. There's the problem. He has to go straight through. I mean, for now, I guess that's good enough. Once he gets green tiles, he'll be able to alter it. But he doesn't need it at the moment. He just has London, so 30, 60. He's running for 80. BJV, a little screwed. 30, 50, 60. RCP. This is interesting. I got to get connected to something. So I think I can afford this. I hope I can. 1, 2, and this would be $36 because of the discount. RCP cannot afford it. All right. We're going to lay those exact tiles at some point. But right now I got to connect up to H. Or otherwise I don't have a run. No, I do. I'm actually connected to H already. But I'll lay that tile anyways because I can't afford to lay this one. So right now I can go through the port into this port and then connect to H. So I'm at 3, 5, 7. And then what else we got? SFAI, 3, 6, 7, 8. MSP. Three, 6, 7, 8. OU. 2, 4, 5. PHB. 2, 3. So we're looking at 3, 6, 7 for BHB. Look at that mess. WW. He's going to go ahead and connect to this for 20 bucks. Two. Just because there's not that many of the other ones left. So this is a 3, 5, 6 run. Oh, goes to the cheapskate. Screwed up. Okay, and then fix this. And then I don't want to forget he gained 20 bucks from that one city. MZA. 1, 2, 3. And it's a 30, 60, 70, 80. Come on. SFR. I don't think he has the $24 to spend. He does. What the heck is going on? Three, 6, 7. That actually made it 8. Pub is sort of stuck, so it's 50 for pub. That's horrible. MIDI. We're looking at 1. Where do I want to go from here? I think I want to come down and merge with him if I can. So two. And he gets 20 bucks. $20 and a 50 run. Yeah, this is why MIDI's horrible. Next, H. Can H afford the $36? No, H cannot. So H is also running for a 3-7. F is going to have a bad run here. It's only running for a 5. D is going to have a great run. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We had the best run of the operating round. And Mr. Kiss, who is, well, he could connect for the Y City, but he doesn't need to do that. He's going to go straight for 1, and there's no double whistle stops. Oh my goodness. I've never had this happen to me. That there's a shortage of double whistle stops. Okay, here's the inventory of 18OE, everything that's in the game. And so you can see right here for the, these are the yellow tiles, and here's the double whistle stops. So there are 2 of these, 6 of those, and 4 of those. And I guarantee you we have more. And I know, unfortunately, see, because look, it's 3, 3, and 3. See how it shows 3, 3, and 3 here? So let's just double check it here. It is 3, 3, and 3. What on earth? But see, there's a lot more of these. 10, there's actually 12 of them. There's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. My goodness, we used all 12. It is correct. There are no more double whistle stops. So where did I need this double whistle stop? That's right here. I could have sworn I never had a problem like this ever in any of our games, but maybe it's because I'm so aggressive at laying tile. Okay, well, I can't argue with this. I mean, this is the designer up here. Well, I don't know what the heck this is, but see, then AI is like lying through its teeth, telling me I have a buttload of tiles when it's not true at all. They're looking at, I don't even know what they're looking at. 15, 25, and 19. There's a 19, there's a 25, right? That's a single whistle stop. There's 25. They're looking at the single whistle stops. Nope, that's a 14. There's not even, well, there's a 15 here. They're just, yeah, the AI is just guessing out of its butt. So AI wasn't helpful, but the link that it gave me to come here was. So, I could swear to you, I thought I had way more than that in double whistle stops. But anyways, we're limited, and I said I was going to play it properly this time. So KSS is being hosed here with a 50. It also makes starting kibbles and bits a bit problematic. And you know what? If we weren't playing the regular game, this is the full extended game. That's what's creating some of this problem. So I got to decide right here and right now: am I going to bail out the tiles or not? Because I think this is the drawback of playing the extended game: is you got all the companies are in the game, so you're going to use a lot more track tile. In a regular game, somebody would have eliminated one of these companies that laid a double whistle stop. I'm going to do it because I would prefer to play a game that is more interesting than just because I got to go before you, I have the advantage. And did I pay? I did. So Kiss would have paid another $20. That makes a difference, folks. It really does. And so I cloned an extra copy there, and just to be very fair, we're going to clone an extra copy of that. Clone an extra copy of that. I might need this instead. I don't know. And then I know see, like when you try to clone these things, oh, we just have to unlock it. I don't know which is quicker. I don't know if there's a problem here. Like, look, there's a whole crap load of them here. All right, I made a few extra. I know we have a shortage of these too, but we'll worry about that when we get there. Okay, so I know I'm very far into the video here, but we are at the end of both of the operating rounds. So now it starts with the player who had all the money in the first place. He now has $620. Does he want to buy either of these companies? And his answer is he passes. Or she passes. She does not want premium companies. That's not her shtick. So she's going to just sit tight with what she has. So then it gets to the Russian dude, and he's going to pass. Then it gets to Lord Premium, who really does want GSWR, so he's going to go grab it. GSWR at a premium, of course. It's going to be everything he's got, but he'll spend it. And they'll take 140. And what this means is these companies, he has nothing to invest in them, so they can't buy green trains and all that jazz. But it's still the right call. And then Kibbles and Bits. I'm sorry. It goes to this player who can afford Kibbles and Bits, but he chooses not to. So then we get to this player who wanted to buy Kibbles and Bits, and I think he will. And that is going to end this. And will he pay a premium? That is an interesting question. I think he has to. There's a part of him that doesn't want to do this. He's okay with just doing another set of operating rounds. The question is if he passes and everybody's rolling their eyes and groaning, who would bite the bullet and buy? Like, he would potentially want to. I would potentially want to. Honestly, I don't think anybody would bite the bullet and buy. I think people would be okay with doing another operating round. So why would he do this? He wants cash so he could buy shares of his own company. And if he's spending $180 to get this going, he has yet another mouth to feed in terms of buying shares, and he doesn't have a lot of cash to buy it with. And he is cash is king, after all. But this guy's just getting richer, and Penny here is just getting richer and richer. It hurts Lord Premium, although Lord Premium is going to get another mouth to run. It helps him to get on his feet a little bit, although none of these run really well. We're okay either way. He's okay either way. He could. We're going to move forward. This is a boring thing to do. So he's going to take 140, and he gets kibbles and bits. Okay. So now what happens is we are finally fully floated. So now you can start buying shares of your own companies, stuff like that. You can even go major, because we're going to, and this is the cool thing, is you can go major and we already have our train purchased, so we're not going to go backwards. That's an amazing thing about doing these emergency OR runs, is a lot of these companies are already out there and fully started. The question is will they make enough to go forward? And remember, I did a playthrough wrong. If you fail to pay, but you at least pay something, you just don't pay enough, you don't move forward or backwards. Okay, so we start this new phase with these guys. So Penny Pitcher is a cheapskate, but she doesn't necessarily... she still wants to do OE runs. She understands that she has to give money to her company so they can operate properly. All of that is true. Also, BJV is slammed. So, she knows she has to bail BJV out. She has plenty of cash to bail everybody out. And don't forget, she can take one of her pars and move it to premium. That's what this, so she can say, all right, I got BJV right here, and BJV is now a premium. She has the full ability to do that. That's why she bought that private. So she parred it cheap, and then she turned it into something magical. Okay, what's the right path here? Well, I can tell you that WW needs to buy a 3 train and get out of this mess. And usually you upgrade and connect. See, there's a path that connects all the way up to MSP. That's what you want to do. And then somebody could, if they wanted, eventually, if they plow through one of these two, they can get to here, and then it comes down this way. So Cheapskate has a couple people she needs to bail out here. She needs to bail out WW. She needs to bail out BJV. SB and MAV are just fine. If she wanted to pay the money to go through the mountains, she would be able to connect to Berlin. I mean, see, there's a path right through here. And then you get right to Berlin. You see that? It bypasses Vienna, but you come right up through here. You get to Berlin, and then you just go straight down into there. So the problem is she has to pay money. Something she doesn't like to do, but she can do it. Well, the company does it, but she just has to fund her company. So I think how does a cheapskate do this? I'm trying to play the role of cheapskate. I know what I would do. I would go major and then just start buying shares. That's what I would do. But what would she do? That's what I'm trying to help here. I'm channeling her cheapskate energy. She's going to spend 60 to BJV to buy a share of BJV. That's what she's going to do. Now we're going to go over to here. What's he going to do? He's only got 371. It's not a lot. He'll spend 60. To buy a share of MKV. And it gets to us. I'm going major with Chin. So Chin was a premium. So now Chin is going to be a premium up on the board. It's going to be tough. It's tough for Chin to make premium money. But I do have the upgraded whistle stops. If we get to green, I could get to 4, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be tough. I got to get the Madrid in. So then I'll spend 120 for a share of Chin. I don't have a lot. I mean, these other guys, they're not going to get a lot. Because I don't have a lot to give them. Our premium guy has no money at all, so he passes. Then we get to here, and this guy's going to do the same thing. Plum's going to go major. The good news is we won't go backwards. And then he's going to put 120 into Plum. These are all $90 shares. It's going to spend 90. SFAI will take 90. Spend 60. Take 60. Spend 60. Take 60. Spend 120. Take 120. I forgot they went major. Pass. They also went major. Spend 120. Take 120. Spend 90. Take 90. Spend 60. Take 60. I can already tell you the priority deal is going to go on Mr. Russia here. Spend 60. Take 60. Spend 120. Take 120. Where was Bell Part at? I think, yeah, Bell was a premium. Spend 90. Take 90. Out of cash. Spend 60. Take 60. That was done twice. Spend 60. Take 60. We gotta get the lizard away from MKV. They're too similar in color. Pass, 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 pass. Spend 60. Take 60. Spend 60. Take 60. Spend 60. Take 60. Spend 60. Take 60. Well, these guys own a lot of shares of their stuff, that's for sure. So, I know that if I don't go major, I won't be able to upgrade it like London. London will just not be possible to upgrade because you just don't have enough track points. So this guy should have gone major during all these passes. Same with Berlin. The problem is he has absolutely no money to buy any shares. So going major is great, but he won't own any shares. I mean, I guess that's good for the company because the company will be able to, they'll be able to accumulate a lot of money. They will possibly move up the stock track, which only makes it that much harder for him to buy shares because the shares are going to become even more expensive. But really, you should upgrade, or otherwise London will stay yellow. Same with this. And same here. I mean, and MSP, right? This will stay yellow. So, like, certain people should go major. But that's me and my strategy. Like, I want to go major right away. Most people don't. And I capitalize on the fact that they don't, but most people don't. Now, I don't need to... I don't need to... This is a tough choice. Because I really do. I believe that they should go major. At least one of them should go major. The other one doesn't have to. The other two don't need to. And then as far as BHB goes, he would be behooved to go major. Now, if you want your stock to be premium, you should probably go major. The thing is none of them are going to be able to afford a 3-train, which is going to get them into massive trouble. But I would argue that if you go major, you're going to have a better shot at earning enough money to get a 3-train. He's fine. He only needed one company to go major. Technically, I am fine. I only needed one company to go major. DSJ doesn't need to upgrade a Metropolis. As long as I have one company, I'm good. These companies don't need it. So, now would it be beneficial if somebody bought a green train before they took their turn? Yes. And that is where the turn order, actually going last in this turn order, is better. Like MZA is in a great spot. RCP's at least decent. So chances are high somebody will have bought it. But like SFAI is after him. SFAI is the one that has the money to buy a green train. C Company can choose to go last, and they will. So the question becomes, is would I have bought that extra share of POB? I'm going to spend the $60 on POB and give it back to POB. And we're going to make MSP go major. Because for the same reasons I just explained. And then MSP is going to take another $60 because he would have paid $120 for that share of MSP. For this share. So MSP would have gone to major and then left this loop and is in the bottom here. And just so you know, I'm going major with everybody because I believe I can hit my targets. So MZA is going to go major. It's my way of playing. I don't like not being a major. And I can't afford a share. I don't care. I'm just going major because I can. And MZA is going to be one spot higher because of the way I set this up. So I'm just going to do all three of them, right? All three of them are going to go major. I know that's 3 turns on my part, but I want to be a little bit more efficient here. So we're going to get DSJ, and we got to get RCP. All right, so I have 4 majors. I'm good to go. I really only needed 1. And then when we come over here to this guy, one of them for sure, maybe if not all of them, should go major. Now that I I really think about this. I was gonna just buy everything and just have accumulate all the shares because he's got so much money he could just buy everybody's shares. Here's why you don't want to do that. The reason you want to go major is so you can move up the stock market quicker. And you can't move up the stock market if you're down here. That's just simple math. And so you got to get out of here to move up. This is where cheapskate is different than cash is king. Cash is king wants to own all 4 shares. So that way when this thing runs, he collects 100% of the revenue because he wants to accumulate cash. She held on to a lot of her cash because she's cheap, but she wants to get the stock going because there's nothing cheaper than just getting free money. So she did accumulate all these shares, but now she needs to go major with something. And she bought all of her companies except for Mav. So she's at least going to go major with one. I got to think about the rest here. So she goes major with Mav, and she's going to use her token, which I think does... Move one of your company's par markers from one box to another. So she's going to cause Mav to go premium, full premium. It's going to be underneath these companies. So there should be Chin, Plum, and then Mav. And so Mav goes full premium now. And then also, I know she's a cheapskate, but she's going to spend the 120 for that share. And then she's going to spend another 120 for another share. So she owns all these companies full, which will give her a lot of cash, but this one will get a chance to start skyrocketing. The problem is I'm absolutely convinced that these companies would be able to earn money for themselves and money for her if they went major. I mean, she owns a healthy share, 40%. I mean, if it goes major, she'll own 40%. I mean, right now she owns 100%. But it'll let those companies grow and be able to afford trains and do magical things. It's really challenging because separating her from this player, from Cassius, it's really hard because they sort of have similar. Like right now, she's playing the game that he wants to play, but he went premium, so he wasn't able to buy as many shares, whereas she went cheap. And so the problem is, here's the thing: if you go cheap, and this is the whole goal of her strategy, is she has to get up and hit the shelves. She can't hit the shelves if she's down here. Okay, we're going to go major with everybody. So major, major, major. She's just not buying major share prices. So we got SB. We got BJV. And WW. Yeah, she doesn't have enough money to buy any of those shares. So BJV, SB, and WW. So the order sort of matters, but I'm not too concerned because they're all her own companies. And she was meant to actually play my strategy on how to move up So her going all major is my strategy. She's meant to play my strategy, except she's going to be super cheap. My strategy is I'm trying to be a little more premium, and I'm actually riding the middle because I'm trying to hit the middle shelf. Here, she's hitting the bottom shelf. That's what we're trying to do. We're balancing that. So then these would all move up. Okay, so I'm going to put this here and then move that down to show that when we get to him, we got to wait until we get to there. That's how I'm going to indicate that they wants to go last. Technically, there's a spot here, but we got everything off of this board, which is the important thing because that board is a pain in the butt. I do want to start creating some doom stacks, so I like to put the South Seas token on the south. Yeah, that is where this board comes in handy. So the South Seas token is MSP, SB, BJV, and WW, and it is represented here. And then the North Sea token is there, and it's represented by Chin, Plum, and then Mav. Not enough to put them all down here, but we got the gist. And this is actually, these guys go first, so I'm going to put them above. And that's represented by this. Okay, anyways, I think that's enough for one video. I do believe that the token does go here, although this guy took a lot of turns. So did I, but I think it worked out because since all these companies went major, that's it. So everybody passes, and we're going to move on to operating round 1. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.